Hi, I'm Bernie from Crafters Companion. If you love making bags and cushions and quilts, but you like to give them that little bit of a different edge, the corner tool is perfect for you, because what it's going to help you do is round those corners off. It's also going to help you make those boxed bottoms on the bottom of your bags, just so they will stand up like that. Absolutely fantastic. So let's see how you actually use this corner tool. So once you get your Create a Corner tool, you're going to open the packet up, and inside you're going to have the tool itself, and also you're going to have our fabulous instructions. And in here it's going to give you lots of ideas on how to use the tool with the written word and all of the photos on there to follow through. So the first thing I want to show you is how to use the curved corners of the tool. So when we look at the tool itself, there's one 90-degree corner, which we're going to use shortly. But then it's got 3 rounded corners on there of different gradients. So depending on what project you do, you might want quite a tight curved corner, or you might want quite a sweeping corner like this one. So it's totally up to you. You've got that choice. So if I grab a piece of fabric here, and let's just say we want to round the corners on the bottom of a bag, but essentially it could be a cushion. If you wanted to add piping on a cushion, it's perfect to have that rounded corner, and you're going to get them all equal as well. So let's use the sweeping one. So we've referenced this one as the quarter circle. So if you do want a quarter of a circle, this is the one to use as well. And what you can see is that it's got grooves in there that you can draw through, but also because this is an acrylic ruler, you can actually use it to cut around the outside. So if you want to cut around the outside and you want the 3-inch size curve, you just got to place it on there, and then with your rotary cutter just go around the corner, and then you've got that lovely sweeping curve on there. If you didn't want it to be as big as that one, let's turn it around. This is where you can start using the markings on the actual tool itself. So say I want one that's narrower at say 1.5 inches. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the 1.5 inch line here. I'm lining up the outside grooves with my raw edges of my project, and then I'm going to get a heat erasable pen, and I'm just going to draw in there that curve. So I know now if I'll just extend that up and join them together, and now again I can cut that with a rotary cutter, or I can cut it with scissors. So if I cut this one with scissors, the smaller curves I tend to prefer to do it with scissors. You're getting a very, very, just a small curve there. It's not really, you know, it's not as definitive as this one, but again you've got the other one which you can do exactly the same, so the opposite corner here, so you can do the full size one, or you can take it down and line it up, draw your line in, and then give it a trim. So whichever size corner that you want to do. Now, the other thing on this tool that you can do is use this 90-degree corner here. And this one is actually perfect for you to cut the bottoms out of your bag. So if I turn this around, and again, if I line up the lines on the tool with the outer side of my bag, I can then draw that line. So if I want a really, really deep box bottom on the bottom of my bag, I'm going to go all the way along there, and then you're going to cut up there and up there. Now, you can cut this with a rotary cutter, but I prefer to use scissors, because if you go over it with a rotary cutter, which I'll show you what it can do, you can actually cut further than what you need to cut. So if I go over like that and over like that, you've got a lovely cut out of there, but what happens is, can we see there that that has actually cut too far? And when you start stitching that together, that can be a problem. So I prefer, actually, when I'm cutting these out, to use the scissors for that. So say we were going to put that together as a bag. You would take your 2 pieces of your bag, So say these are my two outer pieces. You'd pop them together, and I like to cut them at the same time. So we're going to have our pieces put together like that. We've got the two pieces there. We're going to place this on and cut them out. Now, what if we want to make a smaller size one? We don't want that big 3-inch one. Again, I'm going to line up those lines on there like that. And let's say I want a 2-inch one this time. So I'm going to draw through all of the grooves there. Go through like that. So now I've got that one ready to cut. So this time I'll cut it with my scissors. And I know that I'm only going to cut up to that point, and we're not going to get that overcut. And because I'm doing them both at the same time, they're going to be both exactly the same. So you would do both sides of your piece, and then you would stitch them together. So if I get one that I've stitched, so this one I've actually already stitched, so let me do that again just to show you. So line up those lines, and with your heat erasable pen, we're going to mark those lines in there, and then we're going to cut up. And I can show you when I've cut this one how you would just pull the fabric together, ready for you to sew. There we go. And then what you would do is you would open up these sides and pull out to the fabric to the side, and you've got a seam at the top and a seam at the bottom. So you're just going to nest those seams. So I put one seam one way, and then this seam is pointing that way. There we go. So you're going to nest those seams, pop some clips in or pins to keep it in place, and you're going to stitch across there to close that seam off. And what happens then when you've done that is you get your bag that's got a box bottom. So we can see there how that is all boxed off. And if I bring in that bag that we had at the start, you can see then how it, because it gives it that extra sort of shape on the bottom there, you can actually then go on, and then your bag can stand up, and it just gives it that little bit of extra to know that you've made something that's got more shape to it as well. So that's how you use the Create a Corner tool to use all of those curved corners and to do your box bottoms as well. So the next thing you can do with the Create a Corner tool is add your bag feet on the bottom of your bag as well. So if I bring this bag in here, just so you can see how we've got these all positioned equally on the bag base. But if you struggle to get them all lined up, this is where the tool comes in for you. So if I show you how we're going to do that, we're going to get our piece of fabric that's our bag base. So this is quite a big bag base, this one. And we're going to use, this time, the 90-degree corner side of the tool. So we decide how far in we want our feet, and let's say we want them in at 1.5 inches. So I've lined the fabric up, underneath here, and I've lined up these lines here. And then I take my heat erasable pen. We go up in increments, so it goes up in from 1 inch, goes all the way up to 3 inches in, but we want them at 1.5 inches. So we're going to go to that 1.5 inch line. I'll just make that bigger so you can see it there. There we go. And then you're going to go to each corner and do the same. So I'll just do this one. Again, just line up those lines with the raw edges of your fabric. Go to the 1.5 inch mark and mark your fabric there with a heat erasable pen. And then you're going to take some little scissors or your stitch unpicker or a pokey tool and just make a hole through there. And then you can actually take your bag feet from the opposite side, feed it through the back. You open this up like a brad. It just opens up like this. There we go. And then that secures on the other side. So if I show you one that I've got done, you'll see those. We'll go. So we've got this one here. So we've got the 4 on here. And if I turn it over, you can see how you just open it up and that secures the bag feet onto the base of your bag. And then you're ready to carry on and finish your project. So if you want all of those rounded corners on your projects and even those square bottoms to make your bags look fantastic, the Create a Corner tool is perfect for you.